Hello my dears, this is skating, which is on page 5 of position pieces. Now, this piece causes quite a lot of problems because it introduces, or it and fanfare, which is the piece above it, introduce your second position. But skating I've chosen to use because it has the additional issue of being in 3/4. Which means you get 3 beats in the bar and every beat is a crotchet. So the top number tells you how many beats, the bottom number tells you what kind of beats. So 3 beats in every bar. Now, straight away, you've already played something very similar to this piece in the piece called Fanfare, which was in 4/4. And the most common mistake people make with this is what I call squaring the triangle. So 3 has the feel of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And what happens is people go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this bit, of course, is a 4th beat in the bar. So please don't square the triangle. Make sure you only count 3 beats in the bar. So before you do anything else with this piece, you're doing exactly as you did with your target practice exercise in the first bar. You're playing a G, and then you're playing your second finger, and you're making sure that it sits exactly, pitches exactly an octave above. They should line up. If they feel like they're kind of bumping off each other and not really agreeing, you need to adjust your pitch. So the first thing you need to do is count before you start 1, 2, 3. And then you go 1, 2, 3. So just try that first bar. 1, 2, 3. If you've got that far and they match, well and good, go on. If not, go back and try that bit again. The next bar, you are leaving your finger here and you're playing these notes F sharp G, A, F sharp G in second position. And again, keep counting. It's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. So let's put those 2 bars together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You'll notice that each bar has a down bow and then an up bow. Make sure that your slurs are working out for you as well. You can't really see my bow in this, but anyway, maybe I'll come back to that. I'm focusing mostly on this hand, but don't forget this hand. If you find that you can't get your bowing right, just try a pizzicato first. Okay. You'll hear how you go 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Now, which position am I going back to for the third bar? I hope you said, Nikki, you've gone back to first position because you would be right. So I'm going to play the whole of the first line now. The first 2 bars in second position, and then the next 2 bars in first position. I've gone on. Okay, hold on. Stop everything. Bar 5. I have to move from this position to this position, from first position to second position. So I'm putting my second finger where my 4th would be in first position. And there is a move there. One of the most common mistakes in this piece is that people have this, they square the triangle basically at the end of bar 4. They add in a bit of a kind of cup of tea break before they get from first position to second position. You're changing line, your eye has to move from the end of the first line down to the second line, and that can often mean people like have a, okay, now let's see where am I going, but there isn't time. Have a listen, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you keep them rolling in. 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Keep it rolling in together. Okay, So now let's look at the second line. If you need to practice the join in lines, it's any time that parts meet, you know, you get the first bit right and then you get the second bit right. It's the join sometimes needs to be practiced, the first bit into the second bit. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick sup of tea. 1 second. That's what you've not to have between the first line and the second line. No tea breaks, but I'm allowed a tea break because I'm doing an explanatory video. Okay, bar 5 is in second position. Bar 6 is in second position. Bar 7 is in second position, and the last bar is an open string. So now that you're here, you're going to stay here for the rest of the time. Now, it's not enough just to say, yeah, I've moved up, I think I'm in second position. You've got to listen and make sure that you're right. So this interval at the beginning of bar 5 is an octave. So you can hear that that is a jump of an octave. And don't use too much bow. It does say 40. But if you use too much bow earlier on, you'll run out. So use your whole bow, but save enough so that you can play all 4 notes in the bow. Yeah. And then we go on to the next bar, which is a very similar thing. Da da dee dee. All in second position, all on the D string. So I'm going to run the last line for you. Then I'm going to play the whole thing nice and steady, and I'll put on a metronome maybe so that we could do it together, and you can try playing it with me. Okay, here we go. Here's the second line. Okay, now, just a word about metronome markings. In this book, they write fierce, fast metronome markings, so please ignore them. What they've asked for is 108, which would sound something like this. Which I just think is a bit too fast if you're just learning positions. So I'm going to bump it down to, let's see, if it's too slow it'll be hard in your bow, so you want a kind of in-betweeny space. Yeah, where's that? That is about 88. I'm going to put it to 84. Let's try 84. Okay, here you go. So I'll count in, I'm going to play the whole thing, and then you guys can play with me. I'm going to check my G first. Sounds good. Check yours. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Do you know what? Sorry. I think it's too fast. I'm going to pull down a little bit more. I'm going to go down to 72. Apologies. That's more like it, isn't it? Check your G again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm now going to do a slower version still. Hopefully it won't be too slow for your bow, but just in case any of you are struggling, and with intonation it's always better to practice slowly. Let's try it at this speed. 1, 2, 3. All right, I expect to hear great things from you. Bye.